Hello, I'm Smoky957 and welcome to the second episode of my New Brandenburg playthrough. Now, New Brandenburg is a submod for Old World Blues which give the nation of Bismarck a unique focus tree. Now, something I need to mention before I go on is that during episode 1, I was wondering about the possibility of changing between the three political focus trees, and it turns out I was half right. The mod author has explained to me that yes, it is possible to change between these three branches, but only while you have the national spirit of the Brights. Once you've ended the Brights, whichever political branch you chose to end it with, that will be the branch that you will play the rest of your game with. He did also mention that if you are able to unlock the beginning of the intellectual tree, like I did by getting the chief of the Navy Lingerleiter, during the Brights, you will still be able to have the option no matter what branch you choose. Now, my objective for this episode is to complete the ruler branch of the focus tree, form the North Dakotan Confederation, and invite the Old Believers, Church of the Silo, Two Peoples, and the Dramatae into it. However, at the beginning of this episode, I do find myself in a bit of a tricky situation. You see, the Church of the Silo is currently at war with the Roach King, and they are one of the targets on my list as I need to control two of the states, Grafton and the Roach King's throne, to complete the ruler branch. Now, there are two ways to invite these nations into my faction. The quickest way is to go down this route, a rotten opportunity, and that instantly adds all of them into my faction, but they will also instantly join in the war against the Roach King. Now, the problem with that choice is, and I've tested it, is that I will be unable to get enough war score to annex these two states during the peace deal. So I'll have to go with the other longer route, which will involve me inviting the nations one by one, and I will start with the Church of the Silo. This way I'll be able to join in the war alone, and hopefully I'll be able to get the war score I need. So now I just need to cross my fingers and hope that A, this war is still going on when they join my faction, and B, that they're doing badly, so that I can save the day and capture as many of the victory points as possible to get the war score I need. Now, two last things I want to mention before I hit play is that I am going to be starting an intelligence agency. I'll go with this nice sword, like the Knight of the Icicle. I'll keep the name Sneaky Bastards. And I'm also going to stop training my standard infantry unit once this unit is deployed, so that I can concentrate on getting the manpower equipment I need to upgrade my original 10 width infantry unit to my upgraded 20 infantry unit. So, with that said and done, let me get started. So I've completed the Solar Fields garrison. Now that gave me 2 new units, which we'll have a look at now, and increased my popularity of the ruler party by 30%, which is quite helpful because I'm still being affected by the, where is it now? River League National Spirit, which is giving the League schemes, which is giving the intellectual party a quarter of a political power point each day. So we help to fight against that. Now the 2 units we got Let's just garrison. Let's have a look at the template quickly. It's 20 with dog support. Now, unfortunately, I'm not using dog support, so I will be changing that to my 20 with infantry corps, and also changing them to the standard name that I've been using with the mod I'm using for the name lists. I'll just add both of them onto Panzergruppe Delta over here. And then my next focus is going to be pardon pawns. The political barriers between the Eiskaiser and the Supreme Control have been rounded up, and he is free to do as he pleases with them. It would be easy to dispatch them all, execute them as an example of what happens when you refuse the Chancellor. But von Schindler is beyond such barbarity. Much of his enemies were no less than pawns, blindly resisting his power because that was all they could do. Pardoning those who had no real ambition against the Chancellor will prove a much better prevention of defiance. So this is going to be a nice boost. Weekly stability 0.7% for 700 days, which is nice because my stability is at 12%, so I'll start that. Currently, the war does seem to be at a bit of a stalemate, which suits me just fine. And hopefully it'll be like that by the time Church of the Solid joins my faction. Okay, so I've pardoned the pawns, and now my next step is to create the faction, the North Dakotan Confederation. Will give me plus 10 stability. Most look towards brawling tribes of the east of Neu Brandenburg and see naught but barbarians running amok. In the eyes of the Eiskaiser, however, he sees a people desperate for a unifying force. He'll coax the leaders into an alliance and then unite their people through a shared war. This is one last step. Fortunately, the Church of the Solid seems to be doing a bit better against the Roach King than I'd hoped, but we'll have to see what happens. Okay, the North Dakota Confederation has been created. Now, like I said, this is the quick route, but not the route I want to take, so I'm going to go for the radiant isotope. It's going to give me energy cell gain minus 500%. It's hazardous exports. Are the children of the atom, such a naive and bloodthirsty nation. Their obsession with radioactive artifacts led to their disastrous defeat at the hands of the Eiskaiser. A simple agreement to allow them to hoard all of the radioactive waste they desire will be the perfect bait to ensnare their devoted leader into an alliance. It's 45 days, and as part one of 2 focuses that I need to do to get them to join my faction, hopefully. Alright, just one last step to take, and that will be an unbreakable union. The leader of Atom was even more zealous than anticipated. Provided she doesn't realize the ramifications of the treaty, our alliance is assured. It's a bright day for Neu Brandenburg. Let's start that. I've moved my troops as close as I can to so I can get into the war as soon as possible. And an unbreakable union has been formed, and Church of the Solid has joined my faction. So now there's nothing more left to do than choose. I want to choose something else while I'm busy here. So I'm going to go for Men of Answers. 30 days will give me plus 5% war support. Our ancestors were brilliant engineers and mathematicians, creating great works that would be described by the unenlightened as magic. The experience has given us traditionally superior weaponry. However, we may not serve with the works of our fathers forever. We must strive to create our own weaponry for the battles of tomorrow. So we'll start that. Then I'm going to take my entire army. I'm going to set it here on the northern edge. I must actually get them to join it as well. There. Okay, so I can delete that line here. Then I just want to set an offensive line here. Put them on aggressive so they go as fast as they possibly can. And then, last but not least, join war with the Church of the Silo. Let's get this done. They've accepted. Okay, let's have a look at the wall. Okay, it looks like it's about quite even. I need to get their participation down as much as I can. So let me just quickly choose. I want to get some more resources so I get dedicated equipment. And these guys must start pushing. Okay, I want to capture as many victory points as I possibly can. Thankfully, I seem to have, even just myself, I have more units than the Church of the Silo and the Roach King. So hopefully this will not be too much of an issue. And I have, I think it's 3 units of power armor, which is going to be great either which way. Oh, the secret burger. Okay, node income plus 5%. More money is always helpful. Looks like the freedom fighters have got volunteers here as well. I was thinking of sending volunteers, but then the war would have been more in the favor of Church of the Silo, and I wanted them to be basically in the position that they're in. Okay, already I'm almost a quarter of the way. Well, now the Maxon's expedition lost their war against the hangdogs, and now Lannis is going after the hangdogs. But as I proved in my live stream the other day, it is possible to win as the Maxon, even when you get surprised. Now, the nice thing about the aggressive stance is they just go in any which way. Alright, so it's Men of Arms is completed. That's 60 days. I've thought long and hard about this, choosing between the gas weaponry and sophisticated infantry tech. I decided to go for sophisticated infantry tech. Mainly I don't want to have to wait until 2280. So let's face reality. While many New Brandenburgians wish to study traditional German equipment, we must face our reality. The great factories have gone and our men need guns now. Instead of chasing the past, we must look at our present and engineer weaponry that is more conservative in the needs of manufacture. And I'll get the technology, basic energy weapons. Also 30 days. What do we have here? I don't want to extend my military research. Thank you very much. I do want to win this conflict as soon as I can so I can carry on with the focus tree. Ah, that's the capital done. Speak of the devil. Alright, so I need Roach King's throne at the very least, and then I'm going to have to fight him for Grafton if I have to. So let me just submit those demands. Then I can take here. Oh, he's going to fight me on it. Again. Still. Ah, I knew I'd end out at the end. So that's all I want. They can take everything else. I don't care. Let me confirm and exit. Okay. So now, let me check. I need it for this focus here. Yes, force consolidation, whatever that does. And I can, you can see that it says it must be controlled. It doesn't say anything about an ally or puppet or anything else. I must control it. And so I do. So I'm going to set my operatives up to squash the resistance, and I'll see you at the end of the next focus. Okay, so the followers of the apocalypse have arrived in Dakota. Now, I generally don't like them, but because of my struggles with manpower and stability, I do need their help with that. So I'm going to have to let them come, but I don't grant them bases because that gives away resources, and I don't care about making them happy, or the suppliers. So I'll just do escort the followers' caravans, and I'll do that as many times as it comes up until they are settled. Alright, so my people have faced reality, and we have basic energy weapons. So let me start manufacturing those straight away. I've taken the Van Graaf, what do you call it, a major business, because it will give me extra heart attack and piercing just at the cost of 5% higher production cost, but I'm not worried about that. Let's start that production. And then it is time to invite the next group into my faction. It will going for the two peoples. The tribe of two peoples is a belligerent tribe that can only be controlled by their superstitious belief in the moon. Their leader takes great care to hoard knowledge of Earth's satellites to maintain his control over his people. Should the Ice Counselor learn enough of the moon's orbit to predict its phases, he will undoubtedly cause the leader, I assume it's supposed to be, the leader of the two peoples to become nervous of him usurping his position. I'm sure he'll be open to discussing an alliance then. Okay, stargazing will give me minus 10 research speed for a year. But again, not too worried about that. Okay, so while the Ice Counselor is learning about the phases of the moon, let me take the next step. A new moon, as predicting, announcing to his people when the moon would again be full, has caused the leader of the two peoples to open up to the possibility of an alliance. Should they accept, the moon will forever shine white on our people. We should tell our request with the phase of the moon. Okay, I'm not sure how to do that. Let's have a quick look here. Day-night loop. I'm not sure how to check when the phase of the moon is. I don't see anything here. And I suppose while I'm here I should point out some of the advisors that I've chosen so far this playthrough. So I took the Chancellor, of course, to get the ruling party, Lingerleiter, so I can unlock the intelligence political path. I've taken the drill sergeant here for 10% minus training time, more doctrine research speed, and experienced army gain. I've boosted myself up from settler protection to wasteland militias, and soon I'm going to be funding militias so I can get an extra 2% recruitable population on top of that. I've upped my officer training to proficient mercenaries, so when I do recruit a field officer or field commander to become a unit commander, they'll have extra bonuses. I've moved from wasteland economy to well equipped, which means that for my construction, only 2 out of my 15 factories are required for consumer goods, and everything else is down for construction, which is brilliant. And I have taken, to help the manpower, Hans Munich here to get 10% monthly population, and I've also taken Doc's Medical Company for another 15%. And as I mentioned, I've taken the Van Graafs to boost my energy weapons effectiveness as much as I possibly can, because I do not have anti-tank rifles attached to my unit templates. So somehow I did get the phase of the moon correctly, although I don't know how, because 2 people have now joined my faction, although they don't seem very happy about it. That's not my problem right now. What is my problem is choosing which one to go. I might as well carry going anti-clockwise here and get an encroaching religion. This is to start the non-believers to join my faction. These Orthodox followers are even more zealous than the automatic count atomic counterparts. Many a preacher may have mistakenly shot by the Kaiser's men in the solar fields on their mission from God. Had there been more a hostile religion, they would have attacked by now. Offering rights to preach in our lands will guarantee, or spelling error there, their cooperation. Should they forgive us, get evangelistic acceptance, which grants political power gain minus a quarter, 25% reduction in construction speed, and 10% in caps income. Ouch! And that is also for a year, but I think it's worth it in the end. Okay, so I have allowed the old believers, preachers onto my land. So now, let's take the next step. Forgive and unite. While their patriarch was all too happy to sign the agreements, his people were much more hesitant. It may be a long while before they forgive and unite with our nation, and they'll get the event to join the faction with me. Okay, I have done everything I can to increase my monthly population. I've added on the Doc's Medical Company. I've added a advisor for more monthly population. So the only thing I can do to increase my recruitable manpower I have is, now that I've saved up 150 political power, is go up to funded militias. This is the highest I'll go, because after this you start getting debuffs to training time and factory output, and I don't want that. So I'll be sticking with this, and hopefully I can get even more, because I've got a feeling when I go up against Standing Rock and whoever else, I'm going to require quite a lot of manpower for the garrisons. So that's 3 down, 1 to go, because the old believers have joined me. Although now it seems that the old believers like me, the 2 people like me and the old believers do not. And also, I am, according to this, at risk of them taking control of the faction once they're able to deploy enough manpower and have enough factories. But I doubt that's going to happen. So, last but not least, let's start working our magic on the Dramate, I think it's pronounced, with pure expressionism. The masquerade of Dramate are a simple folk who believe that living contently in one's character is the surest way to happiness. Offering economic concessions to allow such austere lifestyles will bring the masquerade into our fold. Perhaps they may even gift a mask to the Ice Chancellor. And we get a store scene, which is minus 20% resource efficiency, population down by 10%, consumer factories up by 10%, and also for a year. Oh, can't wait for all of these things to actually finally wear off. So pure expressionism is done. It's now the last focus for me to do, to have all the factions in our little group here, is enter stage right. Like everything they do, the masquerade nonchalantly accepted our alliance. Their people will soon play a part in it as the grand play of the Chancellor design. Little 45-day focus here, and we should have everything we need to carry on with the rest of the focus branch. Okay, my faction is now full of all the possible members that I can recruit, and there seems to be a trend of, at first they don't like me, but they soon do. And something I'd like to point out is the hazardous exports that I had with the energy cell manufacture buff or debuff that I had has been removed from the church with a silo. And I've also now thankfully bypassed the next 2 national focuses, because the territories of Volt 37 and Roach King are already mine. So now I get to do the focus force consolidation. With the greatest threats to our nation slain, the Dakotan people appreciate our alliance wholeheartedly. Now we pressure the governments into becoming fully absorbed into Neu Brandenburg. Okay, 60 days, but looks like we are going to become huge very quickly. And look here, we have it. New Brandenburg is ours. It seems all believers cut themselves in half because only the states within the Dakotas have joined me as New Brandenburg, so they basically split themselves in half. I have received 14 units from all the nations that just joined me, so I'll be changing those into my infantry. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to have to do it and then just... Okay, I'm going to change it anyways. And then... But we've got more military factories, so I can put... How many? 1, 2, 1, 2. And that will help... Let me just take one of power armor and add it on there. And that will help give them all the equipment they need. Then I can drop this down there. Yeah. I think that'll work quite nicely. So, with that focus done, it's now time to secure unity. Unification was a little more turbulent than expected, but now we can soothe over any woes that the populace may have. They shall have pride and enthusiasm towards our new state, and together we shall become something even more glorious. So the faction will be removed, and it looks like I'll get a core of everything plus 5% stability. Okay, that's nice. That's worth waiting 60 days for. And I will be adding these new units into my ever-growing army. I don't think Standing Rock stands a chance. Okay, so unity is secure. So it's complicated circuitry. And now I should have got a whole bunch of cores which will help me because I've got 0 manpower. Okay, connect cultures. I'll get infrastructure and stability. Promote our people, command power, and war support. I think infrastructure and stability is a bit more important right now because that will help out with my resources I don't have enough of. Fortunately, another 60-day focus, but it needs to be done. The Dakotas used to be such a disconnected people. Let's end that sedentary lifestyle. Expanding the infrastructure within our new territories will allow their cultures and people to mix and thrive, further uniting them after they get used to one another. Okay, sounds good. Let's do it. Okay, so the cultures are being connected. Now, after the previous focus, it did see like I called quite a lot of this territory, but not everything. I did get a whole bunch of arms factories, about 10, but unfortunately, as you can see now, I am very low on resources. So now, I don't think I've ever shown this before, but you want to be careful on how much resources you get. So I'm going to take steel, for example, here. Now the problem is here is actually trying to find someone. So here we have, okay, let's take 3 rivers. Now thankfully they've added this button here, so you get, it goes to the set amount that you need to actually, so you don't take too much, you don't take too little. So we'll take that, and then what else am I short on? Circuitry. So who can give us circuitry? Ooh, Sister Seal can give us some circuitry. Okay, it's the same as done that automatically. The nice thing about this button is that if you add another arms workshop on and you again go to insufficient resources, you can just go here and let me actually take it down, and I can just click it and I go straight to exactly what I need. Go send that. And then water is the last one. Water. Oh, let's go for 3 rivers again. And there we go. So as soon as I push play, that will automatically send off and I'll get those resources. But now as for the next focus, it's time to promote the people. With the most of the independent armies fleeing our consolidation, we must rely on the population for our manpower needs. Promoting aspiring and dedicated leaders to our unification will inspire the rest of their tribes to join our armed forces. So we had 100 command power, which I probably will just disappear because I am at the maximum. And we will get another 10% war support, which will, we're sitting at 100% stability now, and they'll push us to 75% war support, which will be very nice for our upcoming war against Standing Rock. Alright, so the national focus, promote the people, is finished, and during the focus of Standing Rock was able to conquer the historians, which actually makes things a little bit easier for me, because I'm now going to move from left to right through these focuses, and for this last one I must control all the strategic areas in the Dakotas. So I'm going to have a look at what that is, but first of all it's time to topple the rock. I will get claims and a war goal on Standing Rock's core territories. Only one nation remains against our control of North Dakota. Thankfully, our increasingly belligerent ways have made them no friends of our people. Now is a perfect time to usurp their position as a dominant force within the Dakotas. So in 60 days, we're going to have us a little war. Alright, it's time to topple the rock. But while we do that, since I can't take any of the next focuses for the ruler tree, I'm going to continue on with this one here. German improvements. Laser technology was almost perfected by America. Now it will be Neu Brandenburg that will perfect weaponized ions. So I'll get 4 researchers with a 0.8 year time penalty reduction and a 40% research bonus. So that is great. And now let me declare war on Standing Rock. Activate my forces. And I have sent them to balanced manner because I found it a bit suspicious that there was no troops on the border. But I think I can go and be more aggressive now, especially once they start to cross the river here. So to make sure that yeah, see now there, that's what I was worried about. They're now coming back. Let's see if I can get them all across and then we can carry on. Okay, second battle for Hoover Dam has kicked off. These just go against Mojave. I just want to see if this... No, it didn't. Okay, I need this one to go across. And then it'll watch. I see now. There we go. That's a problem. Okay. Power armor. Send you there. Oh, that's one. I think there's only one more of this focus is left. And let's take you. Send you across there as well. Should really split my lines up, but with Panzergruppe A doing so well, I don't think I'll need to. I was 171, 150. I must unlock the focuses so I can get better power armor, but for now I'll do basic drill so my recovery rate goes up by 5%. And let me see how the war's doing quickly while we paused. Oh, I am kicking their asses. Okay. Okay, yes. So now everybody, I want you to go aggressive. Cut them off nicely. Okay, pulse code, let me get... I'll say the research now. Let me do the research speed now. And let me get, what else can I get? Oh, I got the bailiff back. So that's nice. Navy aircraft designers I'm not going to use. Cultural. I really 100% stability. Oh, this will be nice. There we go, minus 5% resistance. And now these guys can go crazy. I'm going to take this little bunch here, manual them around until we can get victory. So they're trying to rejoin. We'll cut them off. Let's get that victory point back. The last shell. Okay, that's Atlas's army. Let's have them go. Oh, okay, they're attacking nicely. Standing Rock won't take long. Okay, German improvements is done. More arms factories. So now I want to do great potential for the sophisticated infantry tech. Our research into laser weaponry is making great progress. With enough time, we will surely perfect our equipment. Now the 30 days. Is anything in the red here? Yes. Fighting weaponry. So let me just add you on there at the bottom. And let's continue taking care of Standing Rock here. I really do like these unit models. Now hopefully this group will actually go across the river here and continue to just go absolutely mental. Here we are. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, pushing against cavalry units. I don't know if they've got any bonuses for it. Outriders. And I want you guys to carry on pushing here. Keep them isolated, because then that's what happens. They start doing funny things. You two come here. It looks like the mutants took over the den. How are we doing here? Oh, almost there already. Okay, he got wounded. That's unfortunate. And Standing Rock is done for. Now, if I remember the aircraft map, I actually just need to take everything here. And that should be enough. Yes, let me just check. Alright, so everything that Dakotas is gone now, is done now. But now I probably still need to move on. Okay, Forefathers has got some territory. Marshall Republic, Sisters of Steel. They all have a little bit of the Dakota territory. So we just have to see if I get a focus and not against them. So let me just pop them up against this front line here and just have them ready for whatever comes with. And I'll see you for the next focus. Nice quick wars. Alright, so that great potential focus is completed. I've now got sophisticated infantry tech, and I can take the next focus. Okay, Dakota Grundestag, I think that's how it's pronounced. With Standing Rock's capital under our foot, is now is the best time to consolidate our nation into a true empire, not just of the North, but of all the Dakota people. Gets event, foundation of an empire. That's damn nice. I'll see you soon for that. Okay, have a look at this, everyone. The Empire of Dakota. So, foundation of empire. Within the Standing Rock's tribe hall, the officers and bodyguards of von Schindler surround the Chancellor himself. This was a momentous occasion, the beginning of an empire to rival the old world's governments. But every empire needs an emperor. Upon the chieftain's court, von Schindler announced to his men the creation of the Empire of Dakota. Popularity of ruler plus 10, stability plus 10, claim gained. Okay. So it looks like we get claims on the rest of Dakota, I assume. And can I take another focus? No, I can't. This is why I need to have all the strategic areas. Yeah. Need to have all the strategic areas of Dakota taken. So that means, okay, yes, I've got claims. No claim. Ah, yes, you see, 4 files I'm going to have to cut in half. Same with the Marshall Republic. Anything to the south? No. And nothing to the north. Okay. Well, that I believe, that is as far as I can go for the focus for this episode. The next episode I will focus on taking what I need from these 3 nations over here, and then we will see where this playthrough takes us. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this episode and any of my other content, please consider giving this a like and maybe subscribing to my channel if you haven't yet. But until the next time, goodbye.